All right. I think we're going. I have my little thing to tell me where I need to look for this. Sure. All right. I think we're good. Going to be a little bit closer to the mic this time. I feel like yesterday the audio was a little quieter when I was back here, but now I'm going to be here. It's a little bit closer to the face, too. I don't know if that covers anything important. Probably doesn't matter. Anyway, doing this a little earlier today. Not that other people would know. People could just assume that I'm making these things in the morning and then uploading them at night for some reason. But no, I usually just do it and then upload it after listening to it once to make sure there's no weird audio stuff going on. It only happened for one where I had to do some weird edit in it, but don't normally have to do that. I usually just, like I said, take the raw footage and just go with it. Like I said, this ain't practice for editing, it's practicing for just talking, speaking in front of a camera and a microphone. Yeah. So, how are you today? I think probably not too much. I uploaded yesterday's pretty late, and since then I probably only really slept, did a little bit of work for a website, got together haiku and an image, did some editing on that image to go along with that. Just need to make some social posts about that, and then more Hyrule Warriors, which I had to unfortunately play as some characters I didn't really want to play as, because I'm being a completionist about this. I unlocked a few characters since yesterday, and every time they want you to face here's a new character. Okay, now you got to face like one of the hardest enemies in the game with that character, and like usually recommended levels are like way lower than even all the normal ones. All these new characters, their recommended levels for their missions are like really close to when the level that you recruited them at. So that was a little easier than expected, but still difficult, especially when I found like some characters that I like playing as, and the game takes them away from you for doing that stuff. But yeah, that's about it. Got rehearsal later tonight. This Haiku's Day stuff. That's about it. So, stuff to chat about today. What happened today? Well, it's a little early, but because in the day, so I have less to kind of go off of for the day and things I've thought about. But it did kind of have the first substantial snow where I'm at today, and I always kind of get a little blown away by how humans got used to rain and snow. Because in principle, even without knowing it, there's parts of the sky, things that sit in the sky, that are falling on you, and it's one of those things that like the first people who not necessarily witnessed it but had to deal with it, and maybe it's just something that like everybody just sort of deals with, and they're like, well, this has never hurt me, and you kind of get like a mimetic trait passed down through your evolutionary line, or just your species. That's how like animals, where they don't have like a genetic thing that says avoid this. Like elephants have a mimetic response to humans. They don't like them in certain formations, especially when they have a gun. And that wasn't something that they've bred a trait for or have genetically altered themselves to do something. It's these things that have been baked into the instinctual response that these animals have to humans that make them a little more wary around us. And the same can kind of be said around this kind of phenomenon. It's like, okay, like literal part, not necessarily literally the sky, but things within the sky are falling. And that's okay. And that's kind of a weird thing to think about. Like, yeah, I'm okay with these gaseous looking cloud things changing into a more solid form, into a liquid form, more solid than gas, and just falling and landing on things and just being okay with it. That might be an interesting thing to look up, to see like when in history humans, I guess they would have documented something like that for a long time, way before written language was a huge thing. It probably appears in like cave drawings and things like that too. So yeah, maybe you can never really go back to a point in human history where we were a little worried about rain and snow, and we've always just been kind of okay with it. One of those things that is just a part of living here. Where I can't imagine if some other species, like there's a planet out there that doesn't precipitate at all. Like let's say, for instance, the land gets all of its moisture from within somehow, just science fiction-y. And they come here, and our water cycle works with an atmosphere that takes water up out of the ocean, evaporation, wind moves it over land, and it rains, and that's how we get our water. That if that was the first time they've seen it, I wonder how they'd react to it. Because if you can't ask a human, and you can't find any recollection of a time when it would have been weird, that's kind of an interesting thing. To all of you aliens who are listening to this, yeah, let us know your thoughts of rain and snow. But yeah, always one of the things that kind of makes me wonder a little bit how we came to accept some of the things that this planet does and realize it's not a bad thing. And there may not be a record of us ever thinking it was anything but a good or normal thing. Curious. But that's only so much you can really kind of ramble on about the rain and people being worried about it, other than the children's stories of the sky is falling. But yeah, that's probably enough of that for today. I think because I'm doing one of these today, I will likely stick to the normal schedule, not do one tomorrow, just come back at you on Thursday, maybe with something a little more normal, I don't know, substantive, not just philosophical questions about what if humans thought rain was bad or scary. So yeah, we'll do that. So have a good one. Next time we'll talk to you is Thursday, which interestingly is Thanksgiving, so should be actually have time to do that since I'm not going anywhere, just sort of staying in, doing baking. Maybe I'll talk about baking. Maybe. We'll see about that. All right. And you have a great day and a wonderful Wednesday. And I think that'll be it. See ya.